There comes a moment in the twin flame journey that acts as a definitive energetic portal, a window in time, when everything prepared behind the invisible curtain of reality begins to manifest in the physical world. The first week of December 2025 is precisely that moment. This is not just another week on the calendar or the start of a new month. It is the unfolding of something the universe has been carefully orchestrating for months. Perhaps even before your birth, if this video has reached you. It is because a deep part of you knows you need to understand what is happening right now. Today, you will learn why this first week of December carries such a potent energy, that it can manifest encounters that once seemed impossible. You'll uncover what is occurring behind the scenes in the reality your physical eyes cannot see, yet your soul already senses. Most importantly, you will discover what actions to take or what habits to stop so that you do not unconsciously block what the universe has already set into motion for you. If you watch until the end, you will recognize the unmistakable sign that your meeting with your twin flame is no longer a distant hope or romantic fantasy, but an energetic certainty unfolding at this very moment. Perhaps you no longer need to wait for anything. Perhaps all that is required is to stop resisting what is already approaching you with unstoppable force. But first, it is essential to understand why December has always been a profoundly powerful month for twin flame meetings, and why 2025, in particular, brings an energetic frequency that has not occurred in years. The spiritual calendar operates differently from the Gregorian calendar you check on your phone while sipping your morning coffee or scrolling through social media. There are profound energetic cycles that determine when certain experiences can manifest in people's lives. Specific temporal portals open at certain times of the year, making communication between the physical and spiritual planes far more fluid, allowing intentions that have existed only in the energetic field to take tangible form. December has long been recognized esoterically as the month of manifestation, a period when everything planted energetically throughout the year can finally emerge and become visible in the physical world. It is the time when relationships that have been quietly developing behind the scenes can take shape. When people who are meant to meet find themselves in the same situations, seemingly by chance. When connections that once seemed impossible suddenly align through synchronicities that defy conventional explanation. The first week of December marks the official opening of this manifestation portal, as if the universe has spent the preceding 11 months carefully preparing the ground. And now, the moment has finally arrived to release everything that has been held back. Yet very few truly understand how twin flames work. This union does not occur by chance or luck. It emerges only when both souls reach a specific vibrational frequency that allows the connection to exist healthily. In the physical realm, this frequency cannot be forced or achieved through effort alone. It arises naturally when you stop resisting the process and surrender fully to divine timing. Throughout 2025, you've undergone particular challenges designed to prepare you for this exact moment. Every pain, every apparent setback, every moment of doubt about whether your twin flame is real or merely a fantasy, all of it served to refine your energy, making you ready for what is about to unfold. November, in particular, represented the final test. It was the period during which the universe assessed whether you had truly released what needed to be released, whether you had cultivated the necessary emotional maturity, and whether you were operating from a place of inner completeness rather than from a sense of lack. Now, in the first week of December, if you have completed that inner refinement, if you did the work even when the purpose was unclear, the universe is finally releasing what has long been withheld. You might wonder how to recognize if you are truly ready, if you have passed the test, or if you are aligned with the correct frequency. The answer is simpler than you imagine. If you have reached this video, if you felt an inner pull to watch this far, if something within you resonates with these words as deep truth rather than mere information, then you are already receiving the first sign that you are aligned with what is coming, because the universe wouldn't present this specific information to you at this exact moment if you weren't energetically prepared to receive it. However, there is a critical distinction between being energetically ready and consciously blocking. What is attempting to manifest in your life? This is where many on the twin flame journey make the fatal error, can postpone the meeting by months or even years. They sense something is about to happen. They feel the energy rising. Anticipation grows, and then they attempt to force, control, or manipulate circumstances to accelerate the meeting. They start obsessively checking their twin flame's social media for signs. They create artificial encounters to accidentally run into them. They send indirect messages hoping for a reaction. Each time you do this, you block the natural manifestation that would have unfolded effortlessly on its own. It's like watching a flower about to bloom rather than allowing it to open naturally. Try to pry the petals apart with your hands. What happens then? You damage the flower. You interrupt the delicate process that was unfolding perfectly. Similarly, when you try to force a meeting with your twin flame from a place of desperation or urgency, you emit a frequency that repels rather than attracts. True twin flames are drawn to wholeness, not neediness. They do not seek to rescue you from your emotional voids. They wish to meet you already complete and celebrate that integrity together. So what should you do in the first week of December to allow the process to unfold without blockages? You must maintain a specific energetic posture that few can hold, a paradoxical blend of deep desire and complete detachment. You need to want the meeting with every fiber of your being, yet remain entirely at peace if it does not happen exactly when or how you expect. You need to maintain a clear inner vision of union while at the same time living your life with fullness and vitality. Without falling into a state of passive waiting, this balanced condition is the magnetic frequency the universe has been preparing you to embody. When you are able to hold this seemingly paradoxical state, being deeply committed to your desire while remaining calm and grounded, you become energetically compelling. You begin to transmit a frequency that moves beyond physical limitations and reaches your twin flame regardless of their location or current circumstances, and they will sense it. They may not consciously understand what is occurring, or be able to logically explain why you have suddenly returned to their awareness with such intensity. But they will notice a shift in the energetic connection between you. If they are truly your twin flame, if there is an authentic soul contract linking you, resisting that signal will not be possible. They may attempt to dismiss it, persuade themselves that it is imagined, or redirect their attention toward other areas of life or even different relationships. Still, the frequency you are projecting will continue to reach them, repeatedly activating deep soul memories and awakening a recognition that exists beyond rational thought. At some point during the first week of December, an external development is likely to occur. This may take the form of an unexpected message, a casual yet meaningful encounter at a grocery store, coffee shop, workplace, or during a routine commute events guided by unlikely synchronicities. It could also be a situation that places both of you in the same environment at the same time. The universe has countless ways of creating connection when two souls are energetically aligned to reconnect. Asterisk. During this first week of December, these opportunities are expected to increase in ways that may seem extraordinary in hindsight. However, an even deeper process is unfolding beyond the potential for physical contact. A rare energetic alignment within the collective field of human consciousness is taking place, activating soul contracts that have remained dormant for years, sometimes decades, and in some cases, across lifetimes. When two souls form an agreement before incarnation, when they choose to meet in a single lifetime to awaken one another, to initiate specific evolutionary processes, and to fulfill missions that can only be achieved together, that agreement is recorded at a profoundly deep level of reality. At certain points in human history, when humanity as a whole undergoes major evolutionary shifts, these agreements are activated on a collective scale. We are living in one of those periods right now. The first week of December 2025 represents an energetic turning point that future spiritual historians will look back on as one of the most meaningful moments in the STE development of collective consciousness. A key part of this evolutionary movement involves the reunion of twin flames who have been separated. These unions are not centered on personal fulfillment or romance alone. They are about co-creating new realities that can only exist when two halves of the same soul function together. You may not be fully aware of the greater mission you and your twin flame came to complete together. On the surface, it may feel like a simple desire to be with someone you love deeply. Yet there is something far larger unfolding behind this powerful attraction. There is a cosmic purpose, a precise role that only the two of you together are capable of carrying out. The universe is aware of this, which is why events have been arranged with such accuracy, why timing has been essential, and why you needed to experience everything you did before reaching this point. As you watch this video, notice what is happening in your physical body. You may feel tingling, chills, or unusual sensations in your chest or stomach, as if something is shifting within you. This is not imagination. It is your energetic field responding to an activation occurring through these words. Genuine information about twin flames is not merely intellectual understanding. It is energetic activation. When you encounter deep truths about your own path, your energy system recognizes them and reacts. If you are experiencing these physical sensations now, it is a clear sign that you are aligned, that you are moving in the right direction, and that what is approaching is not a distant idea, but a reality drawing closer. In the days ahead, you may begin to notice even stronger indications. Your dreams may become exceptionally vivid, with your twin flame appearing in ways that feel far too real to be imagined. You may wake with the distinct sense that they were present during the night, as though you met beyond the physical world while your body rested. These experiences are not simply the mind processing desire. They are genuine encounters taking place on a non-physical level, preparing the energetic foundation for an upcoming physical meeting. You may also start sensing their emotions as if they were your own, particularly at certain times of day. Sudden sadness may arise without explanation, only for you to later learn they were facing difficulty at that same moment. Or you may feel unexpected waves of joy, and later discover something positive occurred in their life. This telepathic bond between twin flames grows, significantly stronger as a physical meeting approaches, almost as if the universe is fine-tuning its instruments before the symphony begins. One thing you must understand with complete clarity: if your twin flame is currently in another relationship, if it seems they've built a life without you, or if all external signs suggest you'll never be together, none of that matters when divine timing arrives. When twin flames are energetically prepared to unite, the universe rearranges reality to clear the path. Relationships that once seemed unshakable may naturally dissolve. Obstacles that appeared insurmountable can vanish as though they never existed. Even circumstances that seemed impossible can align in ways that defy all odds. And this occurs not because of force or manipulation, because the cosmic moment has finally come. The first week of December could be that moment for you. You might wake up one morning to find they've reached out after months or even years of silence. You could receive a message that changes everything, opening the conversation you've longed for. You might be invited to an event where you know they'll be present, or unexpectedly cross paths in New York, LA, Chicago, or even your small hometown somewhere. The odds of meeting were practically zero. When it happens, you'll sense it isn't coincidence. You'll feel the universe orchestrating every detail, creating the perfect opportunity at precisely the right time. However, there's an important warning when that encounter occurs, whether in person, by message, or through a call. You must not revert to old patterns that once blocked this connection. Avoid neediness, desperation, or the demand for immediate guarantees. Do not push for definitions, commitments, or confirmations that now you will be together forever. Doing so risks creating resistance where there should be natural flow. Your role is to maintain that delicate balance, a paradoxical frequency of intense desire paired with complete detachment. Even when the meeting occurs, even when the conversation starts, even when it feels like you are finally receiving what you've been waiting for, you must uphold your emotional sovereignty. You need to remain a complete individual, choosing to share your wholeness, rather than a needy person seeking to complete themselves through another. This is challenging, arguably one of the hardest tests a person can face. To stand before the soul you recognize as your other half while maintaining composure. Dignity and emotional balance is not easy. It's not about faking indifference, because that would be dishonest, and the other soul would sense the falsehood. Instead, it's about sustaining an authentic presence that conveys, "I love you deeply, and I am whole with or without you." This is the ultimate magnetic energy that solidifies a twin flame union. When both individuals can maintain this seemingly impossible frequency, when both can love intensely without losing themselves, when both can surrender completely without abandoning their own wholeness, the universe releases the definitive union. You might wonder how to develop this capacity, how to hold that frequency when human emotions are overwhelming. The answer lies in insights depth psychology revealed decades ago. What you admire in your twin flame is not only them as a separate individual, but also aspects of your own soul reflected perfectly. When you look at your twin flame, you are seeing parts of yourself, hidden qualities that need to awaken through this specific mirror. When you deeply grasp this, when you realize that everything you admire in them potentially exists within you, waiting to be nurtured, something extraordinary occurs. You stop needing to possess them, to access those qualities, and begin cultivating them directly in yourself. Paradoxically, it is precisely when you stop needing the other person that they can approach without fear of being drawn into. It's emotional dependency. This is the wisdom concealed in all twin flame teachings you have heard. This is the key that transforms obsessive connections into conscious unions. If you can apply this in the first week of December, if you can maintain that elevated consciousness, even while your emotions demand guarantees and clarity, you will experience a meeting with your twin flame that few ever reach. It won't be only romance. It won't be merely passion. It won't be just physical chemistry. This is about soul recognition. It's about an evolutionary partnership. It's about consciously co-creating a reality that neither of you could manifest alone right now. You may feel a blend of hope and fear. Hope, because everything you're hearing resonates with what your soul already knows. Fear, because you've experienced hope before, only to be let down. You've believed the moment had arrived, and nothing happened. You've opened your heart fully, only to face rejection. That fear is entirely natural and human. But I want to share something that will shift how you view all past disappointments. Every time you thought the moment had come, and it didn't. Every time you opened your heart and were rejected, every time circumstances appeared aligned but then fell, a portal of that was preparing you for this exact moment. Those experiences were teaching you not to anchor your inner peace and sense of completeness in external situations. They were guiding you to cultivate an internal source of wholeness, independent of anyone's choices or validation. They were refining you to sustain the frequency necessary for a true union. Now, after all that refinement and all those challenging lessons, you are ready. Not necessarily in the way your human mind imagined, but in the way your soul always knew you needed to be. The universe acknowledges this. It sees that you've passed the tests, completed the inner work, and developed the emotional and spiritual maturity required. That's why what's been held back for so long is now being released. That's why the first week of December carries such potent energy. That's why you are guided to this video at this very moment. You are standing on the threshold of something extraordinary. In the coming days, I want you to focus on something very specific. Pay attention not just to external events, but primarily to the internal shifts you are beginning to experience. You may begin to notice that your anxiety about the future of this connection is naturally easing, gradually being replaced by a calm sense of certainty. You might recognize that obsessive thoughts about the other person are shifting into a more peaceful form of reflection. You may also sense your energy increasing in ways that feel difficult to explain logically. All of these experiences indicate that you are tuning in to the correct frequency, that your energetic field is aligning with what is approaching. The more you acknowledge and appreciate these internal shifts, the faster the process of external manifestation unfolds. This is because external reality is always a reflection of the inner state without exception. When a deep internal change occurs, the world around you must reorganize itself to mirror that transformation. This principle is a spiritual law, just as consistent as gravity is in the physical realm. Once you understand this and begin to work with it consciously, You move from being a passive recipient of circumstances to an active co-creator of your reality. There is something important that needs to be shared about this first week of December in particular. A rare astrological alignment is taking place that significantly amplifies the energy connected to twin flame encounters. Without going into complex technical explanations, what matters is that the planets associated with soul connections are forming. Alignments that have not occurred in years and will not repeat anytime soon. This alignment opens a precise window of time where meetings that once felt impossible suddenly become unavoidable. During this period, individuals who were meant to recognize one another, but whose timing was never aligned, are finally brought together. Souls that formed agreements long ago are now given the chance to honor those commitments. If you are watching this video right now, it means you are energetically synchronized with this window. Through these words, you are receiving subtle activations that are preparing you to consciously make use of this moment. This is not accidental. Nothing within the twin flame journey happens by chance. Every book you encounter, every video you watch, every person who enters your life, every thought that arises each of these is part of a broader orchestration that the conscious mind cannot fully grasp, but that the soul navigates with precision. So here's what you are encouraged to do during this first week of December. Begin by letting go of the urge to control when or how the meeting will take place. Fully release the need to know the details ahead of time. Trust that the universe is arranging everything far better than you could consciously plan. Next, focus deeply on living your own life fully and vibrantly, not as a tactic to draw someone else, but as a genuine expression of self-love and celebration of life. When thoughts of your twin flame arise, then they inevitably will. Don't try to suppress them or get lost in them. Simply acknowledge the feelings, sense the love behind them, and then gently return your attention to the present moment. Pay attention to the synchronicities that will begin to appear, repeating numbers, specific songs, seemingly chance encounters, or conversations that reflect the themes you've been thinking about. These are signs that you're on the right path, that unseen forces are working in your favor. Keep your heart open while maintaining your energy boundaries. Love deeply, but without neediness. Desire intensely, but without desperation. This balance is the alchemy that transforms karmic connections into conscious unions. If a physical meeting doesn't occur in the first week of December, it doesn't mean the signs were misread or that nothing is happening. It simply indicates that further refinement is necessary, more preparation is occurring behind the scenes. Additional pieces of the cosmic puzzle must align before the perfect moment. Your responsibility is to continue the inner work. Raise your frequency. Trust the process, even when it isn't fully understood. The universe doesn't follow linear human time. It operates in divine timing, where everything unfolds at the exact right moment for the highest good of all involved. What may seem like a delay from a human perspective is often divine protection, preventing a meeting that would occur before you were ready, which could create more wounds than healing. So trust. Trust even when it doesn't make sense. Trust even when external evidence seems contrary to what your soul knows. Trust even when others advise you to give up, because they don't have access to the insights your soul holds. You don't need their validation to know what is true. If you've made it this far in this video, simply listening to these words is already a confirmation. Most people lack the patience or energetic resonance to absorb such dense information. But you do because your soul recognizes truth, activation, and guidance exactly when you need it. This ability to recognize truth is the same capacity that will allow you to feel the right moment. When the meeting with your twin flame finally occurs, you will feel it in your body. You'll feel it deep in your soul, a certainty that goes beyond any mental doubt. When that moment arrives, remember everything you've learned here. Hold on to your emotional sovereignty. Love fully, without losing yourself. Remember, you are a complete soul choosing to share your wholeness, a fragmented half searching for your missing piece. This distinction separates those who stay in twin flame unions from those who cycle through intensity and separation. Now, I want to share something that can significantly accelerate this journey. I've developed 2 exclusive resources based on the deepest teachings of twin flames and individuation. First is 21 Days of Transformation, with Jungian practical guide designed to take you through the most effective techniques to cultivate inner wholeness, attracting conscious unions. For 21 days, you'll engage in exercises that integrate your shadow, dialogue with your unconscious, and most importantly, help you establish your emotional and spiritual sovereignty. It's like having a spiritual mentor guiding you step by step to fully become who you are. The second is the Soul Survival Manual. I understand that the intensity of a twin flame journey can make some days extremely challenging. This manual provides practical strategies rooted in depth psychology to navigate the hardest moments, whether anxiety tightens, doubt arises, or patience wears thin. Links to both resources are in the pinned comment below. Now, I want to see who stayed with me until the very end. In the comments, write, "My destined meeting is unfolding now." This shows me you're not just a viewer, you're genuinely committed to your transformation. Remember, only a small percentage of people on twin flame journeys maintain the frequency needed for a conscious union. Not because it's impossible, but because it demands courage and spiritual maturity that few develop. You've come this far because your soul knows you are capable. Thank you for having the bravery to do this deep inner work, to look honestly within yourself, and to trust the process, even when it challenges everything you thought you knew about love and relationships. This first week of December 2025 will be unforgettable. Your destined meeting is unfolding now. See you in the next video.